What if Michael Jordan had to redo his entire NBA career? And the Orlando Magic select Michael Jordan at number 1 overall. And in year 1, Michael Jordan averaged 21 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists, while leading the 6th-seeded Orlando Magic to a 45-37 record. Although having a good rookie season, Jordan would not win Rookie of the Year due to Victor Wembanyama averaging 22 points and 10 boards per game. Unfortunately, we played Philadelphia in the first round and lost in a 5-game series. Despite a disappointing playoff run, the Orlando Magic signed 3-time All-Star Domantas Sabonis in free agency. In his second year, Michael Jordan would actually make All-NBA third team and first team All-Defense while jumping up to 26 points per game as the Magic finished as the 6th seed once again in the Eastern Conference with a 44-38 record. Just to his luck, Jordan would face off against a young Pacers team led by Tyrese Halliburton and Victor Wembanyama. Despite a 36-point showcase in Game 4, the sweep would be inevitable as the Magic lose to the Pacers in 4. The Magic would start the next season just 4-8 when they decided to make a big trade, sending Domantas Sabonis in the second-round pick to Atlanta for superstar DeJounte Murray. The Jordan-led Magic finished second in the East with a 56-26 record. They would face off against the Brooklyn Nets, ultimately winning at 5. Next, they played a talented young Pistons team with Cade, Jaden Ivey, and Nate Smith Jr. Despite a third killer year, injury faced defeat once again in the second round. At this point in time, LeBron James would retire, ending his career with a total of over 44,000 points scored. In year 4, Jordan made the play-in. They would lose the 7th seed spot to the Hawks, but left out in the win over the Bucks to clinch the 8th seed. However, they played the dynamic duo in Indiana once again, leading to a sweep. Tired of defeat, MJ spent all offseason working until the next season came. He'd have the most efficient season of his career yet, while averaging 26 points on 57% from the field and 50% from 3. He led his team to 53 wins and the 3rd seed. He then torched the Atlanta Hawks in the first round, averaging 30 points while shooting 66% from the field, 53% from 3, and 97% from the free throw line. MJ was eager to show the world his true talent. He did beat Miami in 7 games to go to his first ever conference finals. The Magic would be up 3-1 against the 76ers until the worst thing imaginable happened. Although facing elimination, Shea and Tyrese Maxey would have way back into the series, tying it 3-3. In Game 7, MJ played very poorly as he only had 20 points, shooting just 7 for 19. What seemed to be a likely finals appearance turned to dust after losing the Game 7 by 18 points. After the disappointment of losing the conference finals, MJ's determination to win was only fueled further. He spent every walking moment of the offseason working hard to improve his game, leaving no stone unturned. He knew that there was no shortcut to success, and so he focused on developing his skills and perfecting his technique. His dedication and commitment were unwavering as he pushed himself to the limit, determined to only come back stronger and lead his team to victory. It was during this offseason that MJ told himself he would be the best. He emerged in the offseason with a renewed sense of purpose and an unwavering commitment to excellence. The next year, the Magic would send Paolo Banchero and a first-round pick to Miami. They would acquire 31-year-old Lonzo Ball, and the Magic would finish first in the East as they won 58 games. They would beat the Washington Wizards in the first round in 5 games before he reunited with the team that knocked out the playoffs last year. Although being down 3-2, Jordan didn't give up and rallied back to win the series. He dropped 43 points in Game 7 as he approached the conference finals once again. This level of play didn't end there though, as he swept the 2-seeded Raptors while averaging 35 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, all in great efficiencies. He faced the New Orleans Pelicans in the NBA Finals. Although being down 3-1, he didn't let that phase him as he would come back, tying the series 3-3. He would go on to have a monster Game 7 performance, averaging 41 points against a dominant Pelicans team, even after becoming an NBA champion. Michael Jordan's thirst for greatness was far from quenched. He increased the intensity of his training, working on his physical and mental skills to an even greater degree. He was determined to win another championship and wouldn't let anything get in his way. Despite his recent success, he didn't take a moment to relax and instead kept pushing forward with his eyes set on the future. After making an incredible leap to an average of 30 points per game, he also received a prestigious Defensive Player of the Year award, which made him feel like he was on top of the world. However, his spirits were dampened when he wasn't an MVP, despite being the league's scoring leader. He strongly believed that he deserved the title and felt annoyed, but his disappointment would soon be overshadowed by a crushing defeat in the playoffs to the 7th-seeded Magic led by Cade Cunningham. Even though he played decently, it lowered in his usual standards, which added to his frustration. The defeat weighed heavily on his mind, leaving him feeling empty and defeated. His scoring average dropped to just 24 points during the playoffs, which was a significant blow to his confidence and morale, questioning his abilities and wondering how he can improve his game for the future. At age 31, Michael Jordan continued to impress by winning back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards. Despite his impressive individual stats, his team finished a disappointing 11th seed in the Eastern Conference and missed the play-in tournament. In the offseason, he decided to part ways with Orlando and signed a lucrative 3-year, $159 million deal with the Portland Trail Blazers. Jordan took his foot off the gas pedal a bit in his first season with the Blazers, as the scoring average dipped to the lowest it's been in several years. However, the team still managed to finish 5th in the Western Conference, winning 55 games and finishing just 4 games behind the top seed. In the playoffs, the Blazers found themselves down 3-0 to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but something miraculous happened. Game by game, the Trailblazers fought back and won the series, shocking the NBA, sending a warning signal to the rest of the league. The Blazers went on to beat the top seeded Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games before facing the Victor Wembanyama-led Sacramento Kings in the Western Conference Finals. The Blazers started the series down 2 games, but they didn't give up. Instead, they won the next 4 games in a row to advance to the NBA Finals. MJ played a pivotal role in the series, starting with 3 straight wins before closing out an overtime thriller with the buzzer beater. Although he put on an amazing run in the playoffs and scoring 48 points in the final game of the Finals, the Finals MVP was given to Deion Johnson. Although that wasn't important, the important thing was that Jordan was now a 2-time NBA champion. In year 10, Jordan put up impressive numbers on both ends of the court, winning winning his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year award and leading the Blazers to a 4th place finish in the Western Conference. They faced off against the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of playoffs, easily defeating them in 5 games. However, in the second round, they're faced with a daunting challenge of taking on the first seeded Thunder, who had a formidable lineup led by DJ Wagner, Amen Thompson, Jahari Miller, and an aging Bam Adebayo. Despite their best efforts, Blazers season was cut short, and after 4 games, they were out of the second round. Jordan earned his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award as the Blazers tied the Golden State Warriors with a 62-win season, securing the 2nd seed in the Western Conference. He led his team to victories over the Nuggets, Rockets, and Warriors to reach the 2030 NBA Finals. Here, the Trailblazers were favored to win. Despite Bryce James hitting a game-winning shot in Game 6 to make the series 3-2, it didn't change the outcome as Jordan closed the series with a 27-point game, securing his 3rd championship and 2nd Finals MVP. In the following offseason, he and his agent had talked to leave in Portland. Michael was unsure on if he should leave the Portland Trailblazers or finish his career here. Despite winning 2 championships as a member of the Trailblazers, he decided to sign a 4-year deal in Dallas worth $239 million. The year before Jordan arrived, the Mavericks won 45 games as the 6th seed in the Western Conference. With Jordan, however, they stepped up and won a whopping 71 games and finished 19 games ahead of the 2nd seed. Not only would Jordan win his 5th DPOY, but he captured his 1st ever MVP award. As the best team in the league, the Mavericks struggled more than they should have, beating the 8th seed Thunder in 7 games. Despite struggling in the first round, he beat the San Antonio Spurs in 5 and went on to sweep the Victor Wembanyama-led Timberwolves team while averaging nearly 40 points a game. On the path to a 4th championship, Jordan will be playing a 62-20 Heat team. Despite a good record, they were no real threat. The Mavericks will win 4 straight, sweeping the Miami Heat in an easy win. This would be their 1st championship in 24 years. Although Jordan had great finals numbers, having the flu held him back from winning Finals MVP. Instead, it's honorable to Jace Richardson. In year 13, Jordan would claim his 4th consecutive DPOY, totaling up to 6. The Mavericks would finish 57-25, leading the entire league. In round 1 against the Nuggets, Jordan would play despite having shin splints. He averaged 18, 8, and 5 in 5-game series. In round 2, faced the Clippers team with Bryce James, Randall Lowe, and Eric Dampier Jr. They got past the Nuggets in 6 before facing the 2nd seeded Sacramento Kings. They played the scorching hot VJ Miller, who's currently averaging 31 points and 8 assists on unfathomable efficiencies. This team also had AJ DeBonsa, who averaged 26, and an Luka Doncic. Jordan stepped up, averaging 29 points in the sweep against this Kings roster. They would then play the superstar duo Zion Lawson and Roosevelt Thomas in the finals. The Mavericks lead the series 2-0, but the Bulls will win the following 2 games. In Game 4, 25-year-old Zion Lawson dropped 52 in a legendary performance. In Game 5, Michael Jordan and Cameron Mercer were sprung with a combined 63 points and 16 assists. Fans thought this year's finals is one of the best of all time. Well, they thought so after Game 5. In the following game, Jordan would have arguably the most efficient finals game ever with 43 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists on 75% shooting and going 5 for 7 from 3. He even knocked down all 8 of his free throws to win the 5th championship, and after an amazing run, enjoyed to be crowned Finals MVP for the 3rd time in his career. At 37, Jordan's age finally began catching up with him. He didn't make an All-NBA team, but he was still All-Defensive first team. He and Mercer led the team to the 2nd seed, playing the Pelicans in the 1st round. Jordan was at the playoffs scorching hot, having 3 games scoring at least 35 points. In round 2, however, there were no match for Bryce James and the Clippers, ultimately losing the series in 5. In his 15th season, Jordan would turn back the clock, winning yet another DPOY. He even made the All-NBA 2nd team at age 38. Although a great season, he would be out 6 to 8 weeks due to injury, missing the entire playoffs. They played Minnesota Timberwolves, led by none other than Victor Wembanyama himself, losing in 5. This would end the Mavericks season. After losing, Jordan signed a 1-year deal in Minnesota worth $50 million. Although Wemby left, he'd be teaming up with one-time champion and 10-time All-Star Cooper Flagg. Despite Minnesota's star power, they missed the playoffs as the 11th seed with a 35-47 record. MJ missed 18 games due to injury, the most in his career. After this season, Michael Jordan decided to retire at age 39. Jordan ended his career with many accolades, and once it was all said and done, he was considered the greatest perimeter defender of all time. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and comment a video idea for next time. Make sure to watch the video on the screen. If you made it this far, you might as well watch another one.